Welcome to another YouTube video. Today we have a very special one. Now we have the Flydigi Vader Pro 4 to the test. We have it finally. Everyone's been raving about it, how it's the best gaming controller that you could possibly get in the market for the price that it's at. And I'm really surprised. So stay tuned. I'm going to let you know exactly how much it costs and what the software basically gives us and how is this the best controller on the market at its price margin. It is insane. If you haven't liked or follow, please hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into the video. Could the Flydigi Vader Pro 4 revolutionize your gaming experience? That's what is most important. Is it good for you? Does it fit well in your hands? Does the back buttons work well? The positioning of the back buttons. We're gonna talk about all of this, right? I had this controller for a week. I wanted to test it out for a whole week before I did this video. And there's a plethora of reasons why it's the best controller I've ever played with, but a price that it's at and the advantages that it gives us as consumers, as professionals, as somebody that's really competitive in the gaming experience, FPS gamers, right? So I'm gonna let you know exactly what I think about this controller. So let's start with the back buttons. The back buttons here, we have 4 individual back buttons. You have 2 in the middle and you have 1 on each side. Okay, and also you have the trigger stops right here, which turns it into a long press and you flip it up and now it's a short press. Mouse click triggers, which I enjoy. I like the fact that you have both options depending on what game you're playing. Could really set whatever you want as far as on the controller. If you're playing a FPS game, you want short triggers. If you're playing a one-person relaxing shooter game or even just regular gaming, you may want the long press. So you have both options there, and the buttons and the controller feels really good. I like the fact that it's smaller than the Xbox controller, but it's also lighter than the Xbox controller. I'm speechless. I'm really speechless on how perfect this fits in my hand. Now, mind you, I am also used to PS5 controllers, PS4 controllers. I'm a PlayStation controller guy, right? So I was a little worried when they only had the Xbox layout controller. You know, I'm like, why not? Let's give it a shot. Okay, so this is what I'm used to. Now, this is a $300 controller and the back buttons are paddles. Okay, you guys have probably seen me play with these before. It's also 4 paddles in the back. Okay, so I'm used to 4 buttons in the back. I love it. I enjoy it. One's for reload, jump, slide, plating up, switching guns. It's beautiful. I love 4 paddles. 2 paddles has gotten tough for me for some reason, but this is the controller I've been playing with for the past year, and it's a very nice controller. But the only thing that differentiate, hate that word, this controller to the Flydigi is the revolutional. I'm having a hard time today. Revolutional joysticks. Okay, now the difference between this controller's joystick and this controller's joystick is you won't get any stick drifts with the Flydigi 4 Pro. Okay, you will not. It's gonna take a very long time. Let me rephrase that. It's gonna take a very long time and hard abuse to get stick drifts in these type of controllers, okay, because of the type of joystick that they use. I believe they're Hall effects, so it makes it really difficult for you to get any stick drifts. Now we're gonna get into the Flydigi Space 3.0 software program that you have to use on a PC, okay, to plug it in the PC, then you're able to maximize the controller's ability as far as mapping the back buttons, mapping the side buttons. Also, I forgot to let you guys know that there's also 2 buttons on the side right here, C and Z. Now, would I like them to reposition the C and Z buttons on the side? Absolutely. If they were like right here on the side of the controller, that would make more sense, because realistically, when you're holding the controller, you have to remove your hand from the joystick to go down to press the C and Z button. Now, it's a little bit more difficult, but if you're playing FPS games, you're not gonna be using those 2 buttons, to be real with you. But if you're playing just regular gaming and non-competitive gaming, you're able to utilize those C and Z buttons. But that right there is the controller layout setup. Also, I wanted to let you guys know the fact that this controller has the rings around it to adjust the stiffness of the joysticks. That is crazy. That is amazing. The fact that you can use this controller and adjust the stiffness of the joystick on the fly with the notches, with the ring around the joystick, it's game changer. I've never seen that in any other controller. Now, mind you, this is a $300 controller. It does not have that. This is a $79.99 controller. $79. That is incredible. And it feels amazing. It feels like quality. I was not expecting that. That's why I wanted to review it for the week, so that way I could let you guys know the truth about the controller. So I'm gonna also show you some gameplay on Call of Duty, and I'm enjoying this controller a little bit way too much. But let's dive into the Flydigi Space Station 3.0. Y'all know what I'm talking about? If you have this controller, you know what I'm talking about. If you've seen reviews, you know what I'm talking about. All right, let's get into it. Also, I forgot to mention that this controller can actually be used on your Switch, on your phone. Like, they made it really, really compatible with everything except for PS5 and Xbox. You could literally use this controller for anything else except for PS5 and Xbox. So there's that. I just thought you should know. Okay, so when you connect your Flydigi Vader 4 Pro, it's gonna come up with this prompter right here. What you want to do is click on Vader 4 Pro. I already did this, so let me go ahead and turn on my controller, and it's gonna go straight into where I need it to be. Now, yours is gonna look different because I already mapped my buttons and already went through the options, but we're gonna go through it again. So the cool thing about this controller is, and the app, you can map all the buttons to mouse, keyboard, like any of it. If I wanted this to be the right click on my mouse, I could do that. If I wanted it to be the left click, I could do that, right? So that's pretty cool. So the reason why I have keyboard binds on my back buttons is because, imagine if you're playing BO6 and there's a bunch of loot on the ground and you're looking to reload. I've accidentally picked up other things like guns and whatever I did not need, and I would pick those up instead of actually reloading, because on Call of Duty, that one button does 2 things. You can reload and you can pick up. So what I did was, the back buttons, I keyboard bind all of them, so that way I don't run into that problem. It's a lot easier for you to slide. Like, it's an instant trigger thing, because it's not thinking about, oh, are you wanting to slide or are you wanting to crouch? You know what I mean? Or switching guns is one button on BO6, but for you to play it up in Warzone, you have to hold that one button, the same button you have to switch your gun with. So there's like a half a millisecond or something like that in that action. So that's why all of them are keyboard bind for me. but you play around with it and you let me know what you think in the comments. So as far as the Flydigi space station, this is what you start out with. This is exactly what it is. I'll give you my settings. For me, vibration, trigger vibration, I'm gonna turn that off on any controller that I will ever own, that I have ever owned. Period. I don't use any type of vibration at all. No vibrating for me. Now, once you're done setting up your back buttons and your 2 side buttons, now you're ready to move on to buttons again. Now this literally lets you map every single button on your controller. That right there is impressive. I don't know what else to say. The fact that they give you so much control on this controller. Wait, that was a bar. That is epic. That is epic. So this app unlocks everything for you. Okay, so like I said, you can map every single button, which is awesome. Next, you go to the joystick. Now this is what's revolutionary. Okay, this is what I've never seen before on other controller apps or like anything of a sort. Okay, now the best thing about this is right joystick, left joystick. Okay, now you have the sensitivity curve. I don't mess around with that too much because I play a lot of just BO6 and I'm already running dynamic in that game. So I don't mess around with that in here. When you slide down, you have joystick center, you have joystick edge, which is your dead zones basically. I leave that strictly at 0 because I mess with it in game. There's no point. But if you wanted to have a less joystick dead zone, you could also bring it all the way down to -19 or anything of a sort, but I don't mess with it. I leave it at 0. The most important thing is the circularity algorithm. Now, a lot of controllers will not give you this option. Okay. Now, most controllers, all you have is a circle, like just a regular circle. Okay, just a regular circle. Now, this controller actually lets you have a rectangle, right? Which gives you a little bit more room outside of the range that the circular is giving you. That's the best way I can actually explain that. There's no, I can't explain it any other way. It lets you go outside of the range a little bit more than you would with your regular controller, which on the left stick, that's what I do on the left stick. On the left stick for me is rectangle. To me, that works best because when I'm moving side to side, I want to break that barrier, right? I want to make it feel like a mouse. I want to break that barrier. But for my right joystick, in order for me to aim perfectly the way I want to, I'm going to leave it at circle. Okay, now there's a little bit more options. Very important, this controller gives you everything that you ever want. So most controllers, okay, don't have these options. Joystick debounce, joystick automatic calibration. You don't want anything automatic with your controller. That could create input lag. It could create a whole bunch of other things that you don't want to happen. Okay, so for me, I have all of this off, and plus I play an FPS game. So I don't want anything that's gonna do anything automatically for me. So the joystick accuracy is where the smoothness of the joystick actually comes in. So most of your Xbox, PS5 controllers, PS4 controllers are gonna live in the range of the 8 and 9-bit. Okay, so they're most likely 8-bit, but the newer ones, PS5, maybe 9-bit controllers. This lets you unlock a whopping 12-bit. That is insane. Like I said, for the price, I did not think I was gonna get this much control of how I want things to run. So 12-bit, the controller feels a lot smoother. I don't have to put in a lot of effort to make something happen, which is great. And automatically out the box, the polling rate is 1,000. 1,000 polling rate is beautiful. I love it. The joystick center sensitivity, I leave that fast because I run everything fast. Right? I always think fast is better. So I've never actually tested the middle or slow to see if there's any difference. I just left it on fast because if fast is there, why not? right? So that's where I'm leaving it at. But so far, this controller is the best controller I've ever felt. The joystick, everything about it is literally the best. Now you have gyro. I don't use that, but I'm pretty sure if you were using it for a Switch or anything, you could unlock the gyro. You can map it to anything, joysticks, mouse, whatever you want. You could race. Like it's all beautiful. So the trigger stroke setting, I just left it the way it is. Didn't touch it. It is what it is. It feels great already. I'm gonna leave it like that. Trigger vibration switch, you already know I'm not gonna put that on. There's no point. Okay, so make sure to turn that off. And then everything else I left that regular because it all has to do with the trigger vibration. So I'm just leaving it the way it is. So general, I left the lighting the way it is. I turned down the brightness. It was a little too bright for me. I turned that down and then just left it the same. The controller vibration grip, it does have rumbles, so you could actually feel it. I turned that all off. I don't need that. Actually, I might even rip it out of the controller so that way it's even lighter than it already is, right? But overall, the controller is amazing. Okay, I don't know what else to say about it. I'm gonna show you some footage right now of me playing some Call of Duty with my son and enjoying it. But yeah, check it out. Okay, nah, bruh. Nah, this shit came with hacks. I'm convinced. I'm convinced, bro. Got you. Hold on, baby. Wait, I don't have one. Oh, they all below me. Oh, precision. Oh my God. Let's go over there, bro, because the smoke's about to come. I'm glad you guys found the video interesting. Let me know in the comments what you think, what questions you have about the Vader Pro 4. If you do have anything to say about it, or if I didn't explain something, let me know. I'd like to go into more details of this controller, and it provides a lot of things that I didn't know a controller provided. So I'm new to this as well. Like I said, let me know in the comments. If you haven't followed, subscribe. If you haven't hit that like button, make sure you do so. It helps a brother out a lot. We're trying to grow this channel to the max of its capability, and putting out videos as much as possible. I'm the editor, I'm the creator, all of it. So it does take me a little time to put these out, but I'm trying to do my best to put out more. So I appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys on the next video.